We are still waiting on John Jones, but we're going to bring out two athletes right now with definite, he'll be here. He'll be here. Johnny Bones will be here, but we got to bring out a couple athletes with definite ties to your fine city. So right now, pound for pound, one of the most popular fighters on the UFC roster today, and man, does he own this H-Town when it comes to the UFC, fighting out of Houston, Texas, USA. Let's hear it for the perennial heavyweight contender, the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis.
We'll go down.
All right, now it is my honor to welcome the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world. Saturday night, she will go for a 5th straight win overall and a 3rd successive defense of her flyweight title. Please welcome the one, the only, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko. All right, Houston, these are two of your people right here. We're going to get to some of these fan questions first, and then we will open it up to the media, and time permitting, we'll have some fan time on the back end. All right, let us get to it. All right, this one comes from J. Bren 11. We will start with you, Valentina. In terms of Caitlin, who do you think is the most impressive win on her resume to this point? Any of her wins in the past that maybe have impressed you?
You know, it's never was my goal to search this information. Everything that I needed from her and from her fights,
right,
and to see her style. Not impressed by her, not in doing like something crazy things, just her style and her technique, nothing more.
Derrick Lewis, this is your city, my man. I know these fans have been waiting a long time to see you back here competing at Toyota Center. You will kick off the pay-per-view main card. It's got to feel pretty good, my man. I know you fought all over the world, but nothing quite like Houston for you.
Yeah, for sure. I love Houston, everything about Houston. Even though the wishy-washy weather, I love Houston, man.
Yeah, Houston clearly loves you. This one comes from Hunnit Sports for Valentina. Do you consider yourself the best female fighter in the world at this time?
I don't know. I just do my things that what I love to do, because martial arts for me, it's my life, my passion. And if people considering me like this, I have more something that motivate me to continue my hard trainings.
All right, another question here for Bullet Valentina. This one from Matthew Lowe, 25. You can fight, shoot guns, you can dance, speak multiple languages, you can draw, you can paint, you can play the ukulele, and you're about to make your acting debut alongside Halle Berry. Is there anything in life that you are not good at?
I don't know. I just want to learn more and more every time. I think we have to not waste our time in life, and just my one of my favorites movie, and my one of the favorites image of person, how they should be. It's James Bond. Why people likes him? Because he can everything. He can fly,
right,
plane. He can drive car, motorcycle. He can do whatever.
Right.
And this is what motivates me to do and continue the same way what I am doing.
You truly are a Renaissance woman, no doubt about it. Derrick Lewis, you will fight Alir Latifi moving up to the heavyweight division. I know you're not one who gets all long-winded in terms of the matchup, but any thoughts on Latifi moving up, and what type of fight might be coming your way here in a few days?
Shit, I'm looking for the knockout in the first round. But yeah, it's gonna be, I have to put on for Houston. You know, we've been through a lot for all the flooding and all that. And so I got to come in swinging and banging in the first round.
Well, I'm sure a lot of these people know that Derrick Lewis has never lost in the state of Texas. His entire pro career, I think 7-0, all across this great state of yours, and he's never lost. Don't you think this walk's going to feel different, though? Doesn't it feel different walking out in Houston than other places?
Not at all. I feel right at home. You know, I had more fights in the streets here than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I feel right at home.
Yeah, probably undefeated in the streets as well.
Sure.
All right, with that, let us open it up to the media as we await the UFC light heavyweight champion, John Morgan, MMA Junkie. Kick us off.
The support here is pretty incredible that you've seen already. But are there any drawbacks? I mean, I'm sure you got to do a lot more media. I'm sure people are hitting you up for tickets and family members you didn't even know you had reaching out to you. I mean, are there any drawbacks to being here?
No, I knew months ahead to change my number and cut a lot of people off. You know, I cut a lot of family members off because they kept trying to explain to me that they're my cousin, neighbor, from my mama's side and all that. I'm not trying to hear that. You're not getting no tickets.
Fair enough. And I did want to ask you about that mentality walking in. You know, John kind of touched on it there. I imagine the energy's got to be there. You said you want to deliver. I mean, is there like a mindset that you have to not overcommit, to not, you know, overreach and try to do something spectacular and just kind of let the fight unfold?
Yeah, just let the fight unfold. I'm going to fight the same like I do any other fight. Everybody know if I'm not going to get him out of there in the first round, I'll get him out there in the last 2 seconds of the fight.
Nice. And Derrick, I got to imagine you're going to have a pretty significant size advantage. I mean, Ilya is a much smaller guy moving up, but I mean, do you foresee that giving you any troubles? I mean, could his size be a disadvantage for you in any way?
Not at all, because he's a little guy. Just about everybody in the division is up and down, so it don't matter. We're all the same size when we lay down, so I'm pretty sure he's going to try to take me down.
Nice. Valentina, I wanted to ask you, I know you said you were kind of looking at the style and the technique of
Sorry
Caitlin.
about that. I didn't see y'all right there, my bad.
When you looked at Caitlin, when you broke down her fights, I mean, is there anything unique that she does that you haven't seen before, or anything that you saw that said, hey, this is one thing I've got to be really, really careful about in this fight?
Now, you know, the fight, it's fight. You have to be really careful about everything. Doesn't matter who you faced. And this is my mentality that to make the fight easy, you have to train harder than anyone. And I know Caitlin, she's hoping that her reach and her height's gonna help her during the fight, but she's mistaken. She's mistaken a lot. And I know exactly what to expect from her. I know exactly how to manage the distance. And yeah, I'm ready for the Saturday. It's going to be my night, of course.
And one more for you, Valentina. I mean, you're becoming an awfully dominant champion, and there's, I don't think, a lot of contenders necessarily right there ready for you. I mean, what do you want to do next after you win this fight? I mean, do you see other contenders that are ready for you, or do you look at changing divisions, or asking the strawweight champ to move up, or whatever? I mean, what do you see for your immediate future?
It's interesting things happen that I don't have to ask no one to do nothing because they want to fight with me. I don't know what people are saying about super fight. I have many options to choose. Amanda Nunes, Chinese girl Bailey, or Henry Cejudo, I don't know.
Hey, Valentina, first one down here. So you're the James Bond, I guess, of women's MMA. Do you want to do movies? 'Cause I know that you have that movie coming out with Halle Berry, but is that something you want to do, maybe going to Hollywood later on? University, what I finished, it's a University of Arts, and my career, it's film director. So, of course, definitely in the future, I would love to see me over there. And if it's going to be movie, they're gonna make like about James Bond, but female version, I will be first in the line for this movie. You think you'd be a better Black Widow than Scarlett Johansson?
It's very different. I'm considering that my professional fighter career, it's very important for me. And, it's
it's real what we are like making right now. It's very like so hard living the life what the fighters are living, and it's take a lot of energy. That's why all my focus right now it's in the training and to make myself better as a fighter each day.
There's been a conversation lately about, who have been the best women's MMA fighters of all time, Ronda Rousey, Chris Cyborg, Amanda Nunes. Do you feel like you're in that conversation, and what do you think you have to do to kind of keep yourself and kind of cement yourself in that conversation to be one of the best ever?
I don't care about the conversation. I just do my things. I be in the fight, and this is it.
Can you explain to us why you changed the hair?
No, the hair, it's because of movie. It's because of the movie what I was participating with Halle Berry. My character was red hair. So I just keep it for a while.
Seems to be pretty popular. Last thing, recently, the country you're from, Kyrgyzstan, was added to the travel restriction list to the United States. Do you have any opinion on that? Do you know why that happened, and any thoughts on that?
Actually, I was too deep in the training camps and was very hard training, but I can say for sure that people from my country, they are every time very honest, and they are like, probably it was, by, I heard something, it's about the biometrics, something like this. It's more not about the people, it's more about the technology that probably we don't have. Kyrgyzstan still don't have the technologies that USA using, like for all this stuff. But I would say exactly that Kyrgyz people, they are very noble, very good people, and they are everything that they are doing with a lot of heart.
Thanks, Valentina. Derrick. Alir was up here earlier, and he's moving up in weight. He said that the recent weight cuts, he had to cut up to like 35 pounds to get on 205. I'm curious, how much have you had to cut? Like, what's the worst weight cut you've had? How many pounds?
I didn't have to cut none this fight. A fight before this, I didn't have to cut, but rest of my career, I had to cut like 30 pounds. So, yeah.
They pulled your microphone because we are now going to say hello to one of the greatest of all time, best light heavyweight on the planet, #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world today, chasing more history Saturday night. Please welcome the light heavyweight champion, Johnny Bones Jones.
Hey guys, I am so sorry I'm late. The UFC, they had me doing a whole media tour like right before I got here. I was doing interviews, so I'm just trying to sell this fight and do my job, and it kind of overlapped. So I am here, and it's good to see your beautiful Texan faces. All right.
How are you holding up to the media grind? Because I feel like I saw you on TV like 14 hours ago, and here you are still going strong.
Yeah, John, it's been a long day for sure. It's been a long day, but dude, my job is to do what the UFC asked me. So I've been trying to do my best and do as much media as possible, and I'm still working.
You are still working. Well, we're going to get you out of here.
2 workouts tonight, so yeah. It's
couple workouts tonight. All right, we got a few fan questions from Twitter, and then we'll get back to the media questions, and time permitting, some love for the fans on the way out. This one from Elliot_John Jones. He's got your name in his handle, so he's a big fan.
All right.
Wants to know, and you've been asked this a lot this week, what is next for you after this? Ultimately, what are you looking to do over the next year?
Hey, so real quick, I got booed a little bit when I walked out here, right? So if you are here to support me, I got some gifts. So I want everybody to support me to kind of make it over this way, okay? Walk right on over this way if you're here to support me. I got some really great gifts. Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right, smart guys. All right. There we go. All right. Get over there.
Yeah, he's got to get over with that T-shirt.
With that T-shirt, you might want to be on this side. All right. Now look at that army over there. I appreciate you guys so much. Woo! Let's go.
Got the whole team aligned now.
Oh yeah, that looks about right. All right.
In terms of the heavyweight division, and obviously one of your fans, that's what he's sort of alluding to. You talked about it on ESPN this morning, that it stands to reason it might be easier for you in some respects when you do move up. But how soon could that realistically happen in your mind?
You know, at the end of the day, I feel like if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so much has been going right in the light heavyweight division. I feel like there's always going to be great competition as long as guys are dreaming and aspiring to achieve great things. And it's going to be my job to stay where I'm at and to be a dream killer in a way. I got a lot of more years at the light heavyweight division, but I'm also excited to challenge myself. I know at the end of the day, it's about the fans. It's about giving the fans what they want. And unlike boxing sometimes, you guys like that? Unlike boxing sometimes they hold off great fights, like, Mayweather and Pacquiao. That fight waited too long, right? So I want to be a part of giving the fans what they want when they want it. And so if you guys are desiring me to go to the heavyweight division, then I think the UFC is going to fill that demand, and we're going to make it happen.
15th consecutive championship fight for John Jones here Saturday night, by the way. Next one here from Barnesy. For Johnny Bones, how do you plan on taking away Reyes's counter game?
By not really giving him what he wants. At the end of the day, the guys who get knocked out by Dominic, they're usually caught lunging in, right? And they're usually lunging in with boxing. And if you watch my fights, I'm not one to use my hands too much. I jab when the time is necessary, but I'm more of a kicker. And I haven't really seen him deal with a kicker like me. So, I know how guys are getting caught. He slips really well, and he fires back with lefts really well. And I'm not going to give him what he wants. Yeah.
All right, let us now open it up.
You might want to get on this side over there.
Yeah, we need Team Johns
There's
to make
more room. All right. I'm going to give you guys some love. Don't worry about it.
By the way, we should acknowledge.
But most of the love's going to be on that side, just so you know. I might just even turn my chair like this over here.
We should acknowledge all of you Houston folks who have come far and wide, many of whom were outside, yes, at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Wow.
That is not lost on us. We appreciate it.
I love you guys. Really, I do. Even the haters, I love you guys too very, very much.
Got a 245 over there. All right, let's get some questions here from the media. Mark Raimondi, fire away, kid.
Thanks, John. Back to Derrick. Sorry, we got interrupted earlier. I was actually curious. John's talking about going up to heavyweight a lot. Obviously, you fight at heavyweight. How do you think he would do?
You troublemaker.
No, not at all.
What's the question again?
How do you think John Jones would do at heavyweight?
I think he'll do good. The division is wide open. It's a lot of easy fights out there for him. And it's going to be entertaining to watch.
And then for John, Valentina was asked about you on the conference call yesterday. It was very complimentary. So I was curious, what do you think about Valentina? What she's done, her style. What are your opinions on her fighting?
I'm a huge fan of Valentina. She's a woman that supports the Second Amendment. And I know you guys, you Texans, you love the Second Amendment, right? It doesn't get much more badass than that, right? Everything about her, the way that she's sharing her culture with America, with the traditional dancing, her work ethic. She beat one of my dearest friends, Halle, and I know that's not an easy task. She's a tremendous champion. I got to take a picture with her earlier, and I was truly honored. So I have nothing but high praises for Valentina.
And then one more thing for me. Dominic Reyes was up here earlier, of course, and he was asked about your boxing, and he said that he feels like that's something that he could exploit, he can capitalize. He thinks that he's a better boxer than you. Your thoughts on that?
Have you seen his mitt work? No? He has a tremendous left hand. I'm sure he's going to work hard on his right hand, especially because I've brought it up so much. But my job is not to go out there and get in a boxing match. Shout out to my boxing coach, Aaron Seriano, my other boxing coach, Brandon Gibson, my kickboxing coach, Mike Winklejohn, and my new Muay Thai coach, Alex, over there. And you guys can clap for Alex, too. I know you guys don't know him. He's the funny guy with the mustache. Alex, stand up, the funny-looking fella. There he is. But my job is not to go out there and get in a boxing match. My job is to be the better mixed martial arts fighter. Like I said, I'm very aware that his best counters come in boxing combinations, and I'm not going to give him what he wants. You know what I mean? It's going to be a mixed martial arts fight.
All right, John over here.
Go ahead, KJ.
What's up, man?
How much do you think your experience being on this stage 15 times in a row since you were 21, how much do you think that's going to be played on Saturday when Dominic gets in those deep waters? Well, it's like another day at the office for you.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a part of it that feels like another day in the office, but at the end of the day, every fight's brand new, and everyone has a puncher's chance, you know what I mean? Anything can happen out there, and I'm very aware of that. My job is to make his chances extremely slim through hard work, faith, focus, surrounding myself with the right people. But yeah, experience, it's a factor for a reason, you know? He wants to make age a part of this conversation. He wants to make race a part of this conversation, and it's not about any of that. It's about work ethic and who earned being here. And I feel like there's nothing coincidental or lucky about being a champion of an organization for over a decade. It's all based on hard work. So my experience will definitely play a huge factor in this fight. I don't think he's ever been 5 rounds before, and I've seen 3-round fights where he starts to slow down. So, and that's not going to work with me. Everyone knows that I pick it up. Every round I get with you, I pick it up. I mean, I feel like after the 3-minute mark, you know, his chances of getting knockouts dramatically decreases. He's well studied, and we've taken him very seriously. And I think one thing that makes our team so strong is our ability to study our opponents, and experience is going to play a big factor. You guys will see.
Do you think you need that belt at heavyweight to be the unquestioned GOAT, since it's always this conversation, back and forth barbershop talk? But if you get that second belt at heavyweight, regardless of who the champion is, will that make you the unquestioned GOAT of MMA?
I mean, that will be you guys' opinion. What do you guys think? You know, at the end of the day, you know, to be considered the best, DC, stop. Who said that? Someone slap yourself. Who said that? Hey, I think it's always going to be an opinion. You know what I mean? I just got to continue to strive to be in that conversation. When you think about the greatest fighter of all time, it's a lot of different things that go into it. It can be skill set. It can be the way they carry themselves. It can be, you know, Conor McGregor, the way what a great businessman he is, and what a good guy for the sport. You know, it can be, you know, the way you give back to humanity. There's so many things that makes you great, and so as long as I'm always in the conversation, I'm happy.
The next question for Valentina. How does it feel to be at such a level when you know that your opponents need their personal best just to compete with you?
You know, for me, it's just like everything what I do, it's because I love to do martial arts. And I don't know, I just, every day when I come to the training, I'm trying to focus to perform myself and to learn something new, to be better. I never stop. And I just, it's my mindset, do everything and be the best. And everyone, I heard a lot, they are saying, okay, we come to the fight, we are here to enjoy the fight, right? But I don't know how you can enjoy the fight, how you really can enjoy when someone hit you in the face, yeah? And I think that if I go inside of the octagon, I here only for the victory, nothing else.
Final question for Black Beast. I need that new number, by the way.
Nah, I don't mess with you.
Oh, man, you don't messed up now.
I got you.
What's going to be your walkout here in Houston? Big Pokey, Paul Wall, Swisher House?
Might come out to my boy Trader True right there.
Hey.
But also, it's been, 22 years since Fat Pat died? So I'll probably come out to Top's Drop, so I don't know yet. We'll see.
John, right here. In one of the commercials, you said something like Dominic Reyes trying to prove he belongs here, and you as yourself, you won the championship at 23. So I'm curious, at what point did you feel that you belonged here, standing across from these legends?
Yeah, I don't remember saying anything about him. Do you guys have any water? My balls
Yes.
are hot. I had to, dude. I say it to you every time I see you. I got my kids in the
all
front row.
good.
Sorry, girls.
It's all good.
I had
But
to.
you know, I heard that I'm the only athlete here, though.
Say it again.
I'm the only athlete here. That's what
only
Red said.
Is that what he said?
Nah.
I mean, you're a tremendous athlete, man. Aren't you in the running for the most knockouts in heavyweight history?
Yeah. This fight right here.
Houston's own, guys. Houston's own, man.
This fight right here should be the most knockouts.
I'm proud to consider you a buddy, man. That's epic. That's history. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
It's basically, when did you feel you belonged inside the octagon, standing across from these legends?
You know, honestly, it was after I won my very first fight. You know, like to go from a small town and to feel like a very average young man, which I am, and which the way I felt. To making it to the UFC was like a dream come true. I realized that people from a small town could do extraordinary things. It was a dream come true. And then to beat one UFC fighter, I feel like it humanized every UFC fighter. And that's when I realized that I can do it. That I was enough to be a person that could be great. And now my beliefs are that you know, we all bleed. If you can beat one UFC fighter, you can beat any UFC fighter. And so it started with my very first fight, man. When I heard, and the winner is Johnny Bones Jones, and I got to raise my hand for the first time, I decided that I would fly and try to never come down.
And then since the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, the hashtag #GirlDad was trending across social media. You yourself fall into that category. So I'm curious, like, what does #GirlDad mean to you?
Girl, stand up real quick for me. Guys, these are my daughters right here. They are super shy. You guys can sit down. And their beautiful mother, Jessie, and my mother-in-law, Sheila. So I am a girl dad, and I love it, man. They say that little girls grow up to take care of their dad forever. And I'm surrounded by little girls, and I know that I'm gonna be in good hands for the rest of my life. When I'm old and crazy, I tell them they better stop by and cook me a meal and check on me, make sure I got clean laundry, right? Make sure I got a lot of love. So being a girl dad is awesome. Obviously, I want a son so bad, but these girls are more than plenty. They're going to do extraordinary things with their lives, and I'm just excited to see the way they turn out. I'm a blessed man to have so much love around me.
One final one for both of the champions. John, a lot's been made on your consecutive title defenses, and Valentina, you've stated numerous times you want to rack up title defenses. So what is more important, growing as a martial artist, or just winning inside the octagon and continuing that streak?
I think it's growing. You know, it's growing at the end of the day. You know, I feel like, you know, Dominic said something on Instagram, and you can take it two ways. He said being a champion isn't about winning the belt. And it's about the person you become in life, and it's about having love and things like that. And I totally agree with that. The other half of me feels like that's his way of preparing himself for a defeat. But at the end of the day, being a martial artist, what it means to me is being aware that there's so many things we can work on, whether that's, you know, in your relationship, whether it's as a father, as an athlete. It just basically means that, you know, there's, you know, I say a black belt is a black belt because they know how much they don't know yet. And I truly stand here as a guy who has so much more to learn about life. So yeah, you definitely shouldn't, you know, there's people who's lost several times and they'll be champions until the day they die. So it's really not about winning or losing. It's about the journey. It's about self-improvement.
John, it's this little back and forth rivalry, if you will, with Dominic Reyes has been a little bit unexpected, but it's been pretty entertaining as well. Do you remember the moment you were like, I don't like this guy? Like, what was it?
When he mentioned party favorites and that he wanted the belt and not party favorites, I just felt like it was a very immature way to go about things. I mean, it's like you're knocking out everybody. So you obviously have the attention of myself in the UFC. There's no need to bring up my past. It was just a silly way, an immature way, honestly, to get this thing all started off. It didn't help him get the fight. the reason why I chose to give him this opportunity was because he's knocked out everyone, and he's the scariest other guy in the world that I haven't fought yet. So yeah, he got this fight. Well, he started this fight being just completely immature, and now that I've gotten back at him, I'm acknowledging that he has stinky breath. That's factual. You ask his camp, ask his. It's factual. Ask Dana White. And then just calling him on his stuff, like saying he's the best Apple Valley athlete and how he's considered himself the best athlete that I've ever faced. I mean, that's insulting to everyone I've ever faced. What does that even mean? How are we all not athletes? You know what I mean? Like, just to make the UFC roster, you have to be an extraordinary athlete. So yeah, the moment I realized that this guy was a little bit of a clown was when he won his fight and he mentioned party favorites right away. It was just immature.
Did you ever think you'd find yourself in a position to be calling somebody immature?
No. No, quite frankly, no. And I'm probably still not in a position to be calling anybody else immature, but I'm a work in progress, I guess.
Nice. I know you and your team are meticulous.
That was a little jab. Bro.
That was fun. It's fun.
John always doing that.
Somebody boo this man. Thank you, guys. I love you guys.
Hey, John, I know that you and your team are meticulous about breaking people down, game plans, that sort of thing. So your personal dislike for him aside, anything as an athlete you look at and say, like, this guy's got something?
Yeah, he does, man. He has some power. He has power. We can't deny that. I've seen him kick people in the head and knock them out. I've seen him drop people with that left, and you gotta respect it. At the end of the day, I can sit in front of you guys and act like I got it all in the bag, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's gonna happen out there. Anything can happen out there. So I just gotta respect him tremendously, which I have. We've done everything possible that we can do to be strong mentally, spiritually, physically for this fight. And yeah, he's a worthy opponent. This fight is definitely worth tuning into. Anytime you get a guy with the type of knockout power he has, it's worth tuning into.
Last thing for me, John.
He does tickle my pickle. This is true.
Last thing for me, John. I mean, you're saying, hey, listen, you'll do whatever the fans want to see. But let me ask you. I mean, you've got all these records, and people call you the greatest of all time. I mean, what do you want to accomplish before you call it a day, before you hang it up? I mean, what is on the list that you want to check off before you're done?
Honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with fighting anymore. I wanna get things together, like in a way where my daughters can be extremely proud of me when I walk away from this. I wanna use some of my influence to help people, to start giving back. I've lived selfishly for a long time, and as a fighter, fighting at this level especially, you have to be selfish. But I'm starting to get to a place where I'm realizing that this platform is way more about championship belts, way more about rubies on your belts. Yeah, it's about, what are you doing for somebody else? Are you being an example? Are you being a role model? Are you giving back? Are you encouraging people? And I'm starting to really transition into that type of person. So that's what I want more than another title. That's what I want more than the heavyweight title, is to walk away and people say, this guy came, saw, and conquered, and he made this world somewhat better. That's what I really want.
John, right here. Just to piggyback off what you just said there, I mean, how important is it to have your girls here and see you setting this type of example? And at what point was there maybe a change in mentality to know that you're a role model, people look up to you, and that you need to represent yourself in the best possible way?
Yeah, just all the time that I've spent, in suspension and not being respected because of some of my behaviors. I think that was really my wake-up call. And potential and talent's the worst thing to waste. When you found your passion, it's the worst thing to waste. And I think it's very important for my daughters to be here, to see their dad at work. I never let them come see my fights. The Alexander Gustafsson fight taught me that maybe they shouldn't be in attendance. But things like this are things that they can be a part of. And I think it's really empowering for them and everybody here to know that, all three of us up here are very, very average people from small towns who are, Derrick especially, You know, like he's from here, you know, and he's one of you guys, and if he can be up here making his dreams come true, I mean, why can't you guys, you know? So that's the motivation.
And of course, you've had your little back and forth with Dominic and stuff, but does that maturity also play into the fact that you can put that stuff aside and, you know, give him the opportunity because you think he's the top contender? And, you know, I know Corey Anderson had the little thing at the Fitness Expo in New Jersey and stuff, but it's part of that maturity. You know, you can put all the stuff to the side and take on the biggest challenge because you know that's what, you know, is best for your career.
It's the right thing to do. It's what the fans want to see. They want to see me. If I'm not going to go heavyweight, I got to fight the guy that everyone thinks can win. And I think he's the next guy that people think can win. Everyone was really excited about Johnny Walker for a while, and he got derailed by Corey Anderson. But Corey Anderson, he doesn't really finish people. You know what I mean? He did finish Johnny, but he's not a finisher. And I think fighting me for 5 rounds, you know, you saw what happened to DC, you know, the guy whose slogan was embrace the grind. You know, I outgrinded him. So I'm not afraid of a guy that's going to try to outwork me. It's more intimidating to fight a guy that can knock your lights out. And so I'm giving the fans what they want is to see me in a dangerous spot. And what was your question? What was the other question?
No, that was basically
that was it.
And,
yeah, and emotion aside, you know, I'm very aware through all these years of fighting some of the most dangerous guys and some of the best talkers like Rampage Jackson and these guys that are going to really get under your skin, Rashad Evans. I know that emotion won't do anything for me on Saturday night. So, like I said, I didn't take this fight because he insulted me. He can say anything about me that he wants. I can say anything about him that I want. And at the end of the day, it won't make a difference on Saturday night. It's going to be who has their head together, who's more prepared mentally, physically, to get the job done. And I believe that's me and our team.
And last thing for me, we'll see what happens with the heavyweight stuff, but there is, you know, a very important light heavyweight fight just next week in New Mexico, you know, not far from Albuquerque. Will you be going to watch Corey and Jan fight, you know, in person?
I think I may be taking my family on a little vacation, to be honest with you. If we're in town, then more than likely I'll go, but that, you know, I can watch it on TV and still get a lot out of it.
Any idea who you think wins?
I think Corey will win. I think he's a little bit more versatile, and he appears to have like this chip on his shoulder that I want to chew up.
Thank you. Love the sweater, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't going to wear it, but my other shirt got all ruined, and I'm like, okay, forget it. So I feel like a bumblebee up here. But anyways.
Johnny Bones, you've beat a lot of legends in this sport to date. Who's been your toughest opponent so far from a physical standpoint?
I would have to say between Alexander Gustafsson and Thiago Santos. They both pushed me tremendously.
One of your idols is Muhammad Ali. If he was still alive today, what would you ask him in a conversation?
How can a man be so brave? He was so brave. He stood up for so much. You know, he was confident in a time that it was dangerous to be too confident. You know, he said no to our government about, you know, going to war. He was willing to put his freedom on the line to stand for what he believed in. And just so brave, you know, so brave. I aspire to be that type of man and stand by my beliefs in the same way.
Valentina, you and your sister Antonina have some of the best open workouts, some electrifying moves, great leg dexterity. The last time you were fighting in Chicago, put on a show. Do you like this open panel question format better than the open workouts?
It's different. It's very different. Here I'm sitting, not using much energy, and there I have to work, sweat. I would say I enjoy both. But of course I would love to share like a scenario with my sister and to let people know a little bit more about Muay Thai Sisters power workout.
Lastly, Black Beast, underneath that hoodie, you look good. Your diet's on point. What took you so long to discover Whole Foods?
Shit, I heard they had chicken feet there, so I had to go check it out.
All right, is that it from the media? All right, let us hear it once more, folks. The champions, Johnny Bones Jones, Valentina Shevchenko, and Houston's finest, the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis. The athletes will congregate over there for a few minutes if you want to try to get some pictures. But beyond that, we thank you all graciously for coming out for a few hours today. Any final words, champ?
Yes, we have one of our local rappers stand up, my brother.
Try the truth.
What up, Trey? So listen, Trey is known in Houston for giving back to this community. I think that's well documented. And before this press conference started, he gave us some of his new products, myself and Derrick Lewis, to give to you fans. He wanted to use our platform to ultimately continue to give. And I was like, I'm all about it. So I have two. You want to talk about the product a little bit? Do you mind?
No, whatever you want to do.
Come up, Trey. Yo, these things are awesome, by the way. Freaking awesome.
Trey, you want to come grab this mic, my man?
Give it up for your own, Houston.
You even put me on the spot. H-Town, what go down in here, man? But nah, like Johnny was saying, man, at the end of the day, it's just about giving back. So early, I pulled up on him and Derrick. For those who don't know, Derrick, my brother, man, definitely represent Houston to the fullest. And I'm a fan of both of them, just like y'all. And it's always important to give back. So what I did, I actually gave them a few bump boxes, which is, one of the loudest Bluetooth radios. You've seen it on The Price is Right. You see Dave Chappelle with them all the time. The Kansas City Chiefs was in their locker room with it, but I'm actually one of the owners of the company, and I represent Houston, Texas. So it's only right we give back. So I wanted to make sure John and Derrick get back to the fans, because at the end of the day, it's about y'all supporting them. And stuff like that is what keep us going, as far as the music, as far as the fighting and everything else. So we appreciate y'all, and right now it's just about y'all. Much love to the UFC.
It's two of them.
Well played. Man knows his way around a microphone. All right, Houston, thank you all very much. John Jones,
All
Valentina Shevchenko, and the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis. We'll see you all Saturday night.
I got to figure out a way to give these to two lucky audience members. And I have no clue how I'm gonna do this.
Who the loudest?
Okay, let's start. Okay, so let's hear the loudest blues again, guys. Oh, fair enough. I'll get off the mic and I'll figure out a way to give it to you guys. Maybe someone that brought a kid. Can we do that? I see a young lady in the very front row. I see it with the camouflage. Okay, and then I see a little man too. And then how about this? Since I can't give one to everybody, I'm gonna stay for like an hour. And I'm gonna do a full-on autograph signing for this side of the room. And you guys, you haters are more than welcome to join this side of the room as well. How about that? All right, so young lady, if you wanna come up, and the little man with the dad above him, you wanna come up and receive your Houston-owned product. Thanks, man. Yeah, let's see, man. Yeah, it's good, man. And these things even have like karaoke and all that. It's like, they're really, really cool. So loud. Yes, sir. Young lady, she had a camel jacket on. Oh, duh. Hey, I thought you were a young lady. How old are you? Oh, she's 7. That's kind of nice. I hope you enjoy it. You might want to use 2 hands. Absolutely. Yeah. How about you get in the middle? Let's take a picture. Derrick. Guys, let's talk in the picture. gotta show you how loud this thing gets. It's pretty loud. All right, don't judge my music selection. You guys like Rascal Flatts, though? Bring up. Where's the little guy? Oh, right in front of me. How you doing, man? It's nice to meet you. What's your name? Fabian. It's nice to meet you, man. And your name?
We're a lot on the beat.
Where you at, bro? Come on, bro. What are your moves, bro? There you go. I hope you enjoy it. All right. And listen to lots of clean music on it, all right? Good times. All right, guys, I'm gonna do a little autograph signing over here.